And welcome everyone to another Roulette Rival 17 Swiss Round 3 match between SpottheCat and Jokerj. Joining me on the Shoutcast is In4Fun. Welcome.
Hello, how's it going?
Doing well. I hope everyone in chat is hyped and ready for this matchup as well. First up, we'll be traveling to Bangkok in just under 40 seconds now, which was chosen by SpottheCat. Afterwards, we'll go to New York, chosen by Jokerj. Bangkok, surprising map pick by SpottheCat, I want to say, given that he's never played it competitively. But, I mean, that's just still a relatively new player, I guess. So at some point, you got to get your first map on, or first play on any map in, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's difficult to say because looking at Joker's win rates, it's 7th or 8th from the bottom, so not necessarily a bad map for Joker, but this could be a map where Spot is cooking something nice with the woke shots, red shots, and all the new stuff. I think I get to start it with the first spin, right, Corey?
Yes, go ahead, please.
All right, we start in Bangkok, which is Jordan Court's kitchen knife in the suit and Ken Morgan pistol as an exterminator.
Yeah, not too terrible, the spin, actually. I don't know where the next kitchen knife is, actually. There might be some around, though, and I'm sure at least one of the players will show us very, very soon. Joker is starting in 47th Street. I guess this makes the most sense, and SpottheCat has pre-planned there as well.
I think it is the starting location for this map, no matter what. And I'm trying to see, I think it will be very important to see what Spot does in the next 15 seconds. Does he line up some sort of a shot or something? But I think they both might be going straight forward. Jordan peekaboo at 1 minute, and I think the closest kitchen knife from that would be in the recording studio kitchen. You can't really get there in the suit, but you can get Jordan's bodyguard and get the first kill before the 2-minute mark.
All right, there is one in there, I remember now as well. And yeah, that looks like that will be what both of these players are going for. Joker with a slight time advantage. Getting the peekaboo off first, but similar in-game time. Spot will do the same. And Joker getting a legal disguise just to, well, get to the kitchen, as you said. Not really doable in suit. There's lots of enforcers around, but different disguise should do the trick.
It's not going to be the guard for Joker. He needs to... Yeah, he needed to wait for that door to close, but he didn't want to close immediately. And that could be trouble for Joker. I get the buffer at the very wrong time. Will we see when Joker returns, he either has the green guns on... Not? Okay, shut through the door.
Very
but
nice.
The question mark didn't go away, so... That's weird.
Yeah, he's investigating where he's shot now, but hopefully he'll just turn around and return to his spot without any harm done. That buffer was in the worst possible timings that we had this match so far. But yeah, both players pretty much doing the spot took a bodyguard's disguise, which I believe makes it legal to pick up and carry the kitchen knife, but not really an issue since nobody's paying attention around there anyways.
Yeah, we could see it on Joker's end that he nicely managed to shuffle it around and no enforcers to dodge, and no one was looking at 47 when he picked up the knife. So Joker at 222, not quite the sub 2 as I imagined, but it's not down to the players, it was just a longer spin than anticipated. But 1 kill down and 1 to go, and Spot will be doing the same with the better in-game time, just towards RTA.
Indeed. Joker choosing the recording crew disguise to go down. Spot is going to return in to his bodyguard, I presume. There it is. So yeah, I guess next order of business, just grabbing the exterminator disguise and then grabbing Ken Morgan. Actually, not 100% sure what the smartest exterminator to grab is from this point, but I'm sure the players will have at least some idea. There's of course some in the not the basement, but the ground floor area that's closed off. It's usually a top pick among players, I want to say, but maybe these have something different.
Being more smart, I think Spot is doing that grab itself, throwing at the camera to lure the guard up. Now, I'm not sure if the camera was not heard, the second camera wasn't heard by the downstairs NPCs, but no one should be looking at these two, and Spot grabs the disguise very nice and very clean. I think this is the fastest and safest grab that you can think of in Bangkok.
And indeed, Jokerj doing it as well now, but looks to be doing a corner subdue on this guard. Oh no, okay, just sneaks by there. Big difference is that Jokerj has already emedicked Ken, which might be the smart play here, because now he doesn't really have to wait for Ken to get to the bathroom after he picks up this disguise. And I think, yeah, he is actually still walking towards the bathroom. So he will have a little bit of a shorter wait compared to Spot.
It's just a tough part of Ken's cycle that he's always so far away from any bathrooms. I'm not sure how much Spot was thinking about it, but he almost got the patio timing, and if that happened, then I think the second kill would be done first on Spot's end. But all things considered, both are going for the same isolation, the same kill, and Joker just being that much ahead RTA-wise will net him the win on first finish, even if the IGT might be very, very close, and this might actually be a photo finish, but it's the type of photo finish which Spot will wave.
Very likely. We can see Joker already finishing with the buffering. Of course, we do have some stream delay in now. Shall refresh after this map is done. Spot just acquired the kill. Of course, we don't know how much stream delay he has, so we're gonna wait this one out a little bit, although already at this point, 20 seconds, both these players on one load. It's very, very unlikely that Spot can actually even still finish within the photo finish window. I think it's 30 seconds for the first 10 minutes of the spin, if I'm not entirely mistaken. There's the finish now, and yeah, it's above 30 seconds, I believe.
34.
34. So, yeah, I'm actually not 100% on the rules there, but I think it's outside the photo finish window, and I think the admin can just confirm that real quick, that he thought the same.
I did actually think the same. I mean, it really much depends on admin. Some like to call it at 30.001, which I don't, and I don't like to experience it. So, but I don't think there's a clean way. I like to wait until both players finish if it's close to 30 seconds. But of course, it must stink for Spot either way. Just
of course,
tough one to lose. Joker was just quicker, I think, on the planning mostly, and I don't remember, but I think Spot had a longer pause maybe for the kitchen knife, and that probably contributed to the difference as well.
Yeah, I think Jokerj just loaded in a bit quicker, executed his strat maybe just a tiny bit quicker, which in the end netted him the win here. But, of course, nothing is lost quite yet. SpottheCat still has at least 2 more maps to be able to claim at least a couple of points from this match. Next up is going to be in New York, which was Jokerj's pick. And we can see him already doing a short little warm-up spin on it. I mean, with New York, you got so little, one target map, so quick, can easily do a spin during the countdown time. But yeah, 7-8-0 on Jokerj's end versus 1-1 on Spots. I don't think necessarily this is a surprising map pick by Jokerj.
You know, I don't think so either. What's surprising to me is his win rate, but of course, it's a different story and different timeline. Joker has made a Dartmoor document, of course, years ago, and updated it and re-updated it with all the drops and whatnot. But little known fact, he also has a New York document, and I think he's just getting really strong at all the one target maps. So if I go to check Joker's win rate, maybe from R13, so last year and a half, then he's still 3 from 7. So I guess it just doesn't really translate to matches, but he is gaining a lot of experience, and he's a force to be reckoned with, no matter his win rate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, on New York, it's going to be dependent on really small things at this level of competition. think I said in a previous cast as well, I think these one target maps, New York and Dartmoor, are the maps where you can get the furthest with the least amount of practice. Like if you just get some basic strats in, I don't know, for New York example, if you get the basic office clear out in, you know how to get the data disks, you know your starting locations. That's already a lot of spins that you can finish, even with just learning like a single strat, pretty much. So the playing field, I guess, is quite high to begin with. But of course, mastering it is another feat that Jokerj is attempting now. But yeah, certainly interesting to see how this New York is going to play out.
Yeah, it's a map where the execution-heavy players just tend to do better. Of course, Joker Dartmoor, Scruffy New York. I'm not even sure about Zai and Tieshman when he was playing. He was also Dartmoor main, so it can just happen on these shorter maps. But let's see how it goes for the second spin.
This is going to be a quick one. It is Athena Savalas assault rifle high security guard. This is closest to the most default spin you can have on this map, I want to say. We see both players starting as a guard downstairs. And I believe we're going to see synchronized gameplay for at least the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, with the slight delay on Spot's side. And I don't mean the stream delay, but Joker's plan was so quick that I think Spot will be chasing him for most of the spin. Of course, flips can still happen, but this is one of the simplest spins. All you have to do is swap your loadout into an assault rifle, and there's only one strat and approach that you can do here.
Exactly. Either Joker was so quick to change it, or he already pre-planned an assault rifle, actually. Because I didn't see him change his loadout. And I guess pre-planning an assault rifle would be a valid option. But either
He
way,
did change, but
yeah.
I don't remember from what. I think it's the chunk what you want to have the most of the time, but it's just really quick, and Joker is one of the quickest planners, especially on one target maps.
Absolutely. So yeah, we will see office clear out by both. I think both of them using the snail. I actually didn't see what Spot is using. But yeah, that is a snail.
Snail for Spot, snail for Joker. That's a bit of a concern about the red guns for Joker. I think even cleaner on Spot's end. Unless you get any oranges, then I think you will be fine. Spot's skill is there, back to green guns. Joker's skill is there, back to green guns. And I think it's mostly down to Athena, but Spot's difference here, Spot's back to even is what I want to say.
Absolutely. Jokerj did have a little bit of a wait. Both players only require Fabian Mann's disc now. Jokerj even stair sliding down here. And that's all they need to exit. This is likely going to be a photo finish unless something some catastrophe happens for either player, like Jokerj going into cover here. This might actually be what costs him the map. A second between these players. I don't think Jokerj meant to go into cover next to the door there. And at this level, that second or so that he spent there might be the thing that loses this map for him.
I want to say that this is huge, knowing that Spot's load was very quick, Joker's a couple seconds longer, but Spot being the first one to finish, I know what I guess for the result, but I have to actually count it now, so see you soon.
Yes, In4Fun is going to go ahead and count the loading times of the players now. We've got official timing of Spot being 1.14 seconds quicker on the finish than Jokerj. So this is actually quite large already. I want to point out that we did have sub-second photo finish differences. I believe the closest we had is 0.03 seconds between the players. We had 0.06 in another match recently, but 1.14 is also quite close. So yeah, we will now look at, or In4Fun will now look at the finishing times of both players and deduct them from their finishing times to get the actual time they spent playing the map. This was originally added to give older generation consoles who definitely had longer loads compared to newer generation or PCs not a disadvantage, because you'd need to load longer. If Spot can extend his lead over Jokerj for 2 seconds, or up to 2 seconds, it's going to be a SpottheCat victory on New York. If it's going to be below 2 seconds difference between these two players, we will see a tie in New York, and each player will be awarded 1 point. And I guess this is unlikely, but of course an option that Jokerj pulls it back and gets a 2-second lead over Spot. And of course that is another option for a Jokerj victory there. So we shall await the result for now. After the result is done, the match is not over. We can see both players practicing Santa Fortuna, and I strongly assume that is our next map. I actually didn't check all the maps beforehand myself. I just quickly look it up. Yes, Santa Fortuna is our first random map. Should this be a Jokerj victory on New York, it could be our last map as well, because then Joker has the option of a 6-0 victory. If this is a tie or a SpottheCat victory on New York, then we will see Santa Fortuna at least one more random map afterwards. In case of a tie, we're actually gonna see 2 maps afterwards, I believe. Because in case of a tie, we have a 1-in-3 score, so Santa Fortuna could only get Jokerj to a 1-in-5, which is not enough to outright win the match. But yeah, up to 3 maps still coming. But for now, it is gonna be Santa Fortuna next after this New York photo finish. The random maps were chosen from all 19 maps in the trilogy, apart from obviously Bangkok and New York. Those 2 were picked by our players, as we can see at the top, and Mumbai and Colorado, which were the 2 bans from our players. So those 2 maps could not be picked, and they will not appear as random maps either. And apart from those 4, all other 19 maps are available. And Santa Fortuna is our first one. We can see both players already practicing it. Jokerj with a nice peekaboo onto the pier. And I think SpottheCat trying or practicing the soft bump start. Well, that is actually not soft bump, but another distraction. But a quick Rico isolation on the bridge with a Seeker. We are still awaiting the results of the photo finish. Our lovely co-caster and match admin In4Fun is currently timing the loads from the players. Luckily, it's only a single load each, no restarts. Otherwise, that would have already cost the map on New York. But it could end up being a close one for sure. likely to see a result soon. So they're either going to be SpottheCat victory if he leads by more than 2 seconds after the photo finish, a tie if the difference is less than 2 seconds, and a Jokerj victory if he manages to gain the advantage and have a lot longer loads than SpottheCat. SpottheCat only needs a less than a second of loading, a longer loading time compared to Jokerj to win it, and Jokerj would have needed more than 3 seconds of loading time for a victory, but neither of those situations happened, and it's going to be a draw on New York, where the difference was less than 2 seconds, and maybe our lovely admin can quickly inform us about the result here.
Oh, what a lovely result. Not. Spot's load was 3.24 seconds and Joker's was 6.28 seconds, which is about the 3 second you were talking about, I heard. But with Spot's lead being just over the 1 second, 1.14, add and subtract and everything, and the final result is Joker by 1.90 seconds, which is just barely less than the 2 second, which is needed for the outright map win. So by the slimmest of the margins, Spot ekes out a tie, and we go to Santa Fortuna with a 1-3, and I haven't even checked the next spin or sent it, so 22 passed is fine.
I do think so as well. Yeah, very, very close one, and actually not the result I was anticipating. I did not see that Joker's load was that long, quote unquote, with 6 seconds. Not really a long load generally, but in terms of this match, certainly a long one. But yeah, sadly not long enough.
It's just kind of scary from the admin perspective, because
of course
you count it by hand. Like, Chris is the only admin who does frames, and maybe he should teach us how to do it. But I think it's just so easy to be off by a tenth or 2 or 5.
Yeah.
So if the difference is 1.90, it doesn't even allow you to be off by 1/10, because I think a Joker 2.00 would be an outright win. But hope I'm correct. I counted these 5 times each, and those are not only the averages, but the medians. The result I ended up with the most often.
The statistician really coming out there, making sure we absolutely get the correct results. I think this is perfect, though. I did start using frames now recently as well, actually. I recounted one of my own photo finishes, but all that doesn't matter anymore. We are arriving in Santa Fortuna now, and I believe this spin is also yours to take again.
Sure thing, but I will be really curious how wrong you were on your photo finish, or right, but I guess that's story for another time. Santa spin is Rico Delgado injected poison band member, Andrea Martinez electrocution mention guard, and Jorge Franco folding knife street soldier. Anti-KO, sorry. Gotta be perfect.
Important, actually an important detail, although with Jorge and anti-KO, I think that's the target where it matters the least, since you usually just only do him when you actually kill him anyways. But yeah.
I was on the other monitor while reading out the spin, but Joker was already on the map or in the map and then replanned, I think, again, which, I mean, it's free loading time, but really curious to see. Generally a low loadout spin, but I think I would still want to use and bring both the taser and the lethal injection for Rico. So I think with all that in hand, I'm not sure if I want to agree with the bump lore, but I think it will work out. Just trying to think of the timings. If you are quick with Andrea, grab the band member. I think you can get 2 kills down in 3 minutes.
That is true. We see the Jokerj going for the soft bump into an pneumatic grenade. for Rico, which will bring him. I'm not actually sure where it does bring him. It's somewhere close to this bridge. I want to say.
Yeah, there's a toilet not far from the hostel. I think on a bird's eye view is between the hostel start and the default start. If you want to connect the dots on the map.
I think that's where I had it roughly in my head as well.
Nice.
And I mean, Jokerj does have some time there. Like, because Rico's gonna walk there, he's gonna be sick for a minute, and then he will walk back. So not a ton of time, but I guess enough time to grab the band member disguise, hopefully. Since otherwise Rico will find those two KO'd bodies and will go into a panic in a second.
Fun fact, but even the panic wouldn't be that much of a problem because a locked down Rico will walk to the closest, I guess, the closest guard, which is not a checkpoint guard, because he ends up going to the cartel hangout. So huge run, and they won't even find the bodies.
Okay.
Important info for later.
Do you see that being helpful?
Not sure what that was for Joker. Or I guess that was to lure the street soldier, but I was surprised to see Paula reacting as well. So that will be the first kill for Joker. And just want to address one important question on Dane's end, because he didn't see Joker bring injected poison. So that could be trouble. Of course, we still see that the hidden stash is untouched. So it could be hiding in the hostel.
Let's hope it does. Jokerj getting first kill on Andrea Martinez electrocution. He doesn't pick up the street soldier straight away, but likely going to go for the band member and then hopefully the Rico kill afterwards. He has it with hiding behind corners today and next to a door.
That already cost him 1 point.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't cost him another. Spot on the other side did something similar start at the very least. That to Jokerj just got the Andrea kill as well. I think his Rico's also sick, and yeah, we can see Rico puking for Spot, and Jokerj picked up his syringe. Disguise. Rico now saw a body, and that is a frontal KO because of the panic and the, I guess, the difference in height between 47 and Rico. And that will be a restart.
That is so rough though. I mean, I was expecting it to be a bit of a problem because of the elevation difference and Rico having the head turn. But I think Joker also expected that. And most importantly, the prompt was there until the very end. Now, Spot with a very similar situation.
I don't know where the guards are for Spot, though. It seems like they are at least a little bit higher up, if not hidden. But yeah, 47 doesn't like not being on the same height as his target. For Spot, it did work out, though. I think Rico only saw a single body initially or something, because he wasn't fully panicked just yet.
And then he also waited for a bit of a head turn normalization, or how would I even say it in English, but there was less chance for a GRB. Still, on slopes, it is very difficult.
Absolutely. Stairs, I guess, is the end, the big enemy, but slope already scary enough. That now puts Spot in a huge lead. Jokerj just had to restart again due to the soft bump not working out as intended. So Spot just needs folding a knife, a street soldier, which he's about to acquire, and an isolation for Jorge Franco, and then it is a possible spin victory for him.
If he has an emetic, and we've just seen that he does have an emetic for Jorge, then it will be smooth sailing. But before I could even finish this sentence, I was this frontal KO on the soldier. Spot is aware that this could cause troubles, but I'm not seeing anyone come down. Bodies are all hidden, and Joker's restarting once again.
sadly, his first run looked quite good, but apart from that, it's not working out for him so far. So...
How does bump lure work and why does he do that? Asks Peter Dutton. You can see it on Joker's end, of course, in a couple seconds, but I think Mesh had found that sometime last year. That I think other targets as well, but definitely Rico is the one where it's useful. If you bump him, soft bump him, so no question mark. Ooh, Joker. Okay, fine for him. But if you softly bumped him, and that's where the strat name comes from, the soft bump, then he goes back to his original spot.
And just like he restarts his route across the front yard, I want to say, of his mansion. So he first goes back to his starting location and then walks over. Did he just... Jokerj just got spotted shooting the Seeker from one of the guards back there. His red guns.
It was a weird combo of being red and the exclamation mark, but no hunted, no combat, but still he ripped.
Indeed. So we shall see a soft bump once more on Jokerj's end. In the meantime, SpottheCat, though, made his way all the way to the Coca Fields. And Seeker in hand. Hopefully gets a good timing on Hoya Franco. I have no idea where you can Seeker him and it's good and where you can't, but hopefully that was a good one. Does still have a full trank in his inventory as well, just in case.
Yeah, going safe is nice with the trank and it's not even needed for spot this run. That was a good spot for Jorge. Not a lot of places you can hit him and goes to this bathroom, but that was the exception. Spot with a third kill, folding knife, and I guess one trank used after all on that final Coca-Field Lurker, and exits with a 902. Very nice first map win of this match, and maybe first Santa Fortuna win at all. Yeah.
First or second, probably, yeah. So... very nicely done. And our score is completely tied 3-3, which means we will see both our remaining maps, next one being Hokkaido in just over 3 minutes. Afterwards, we will see one more because assuming that this is a victory to either player, we're gonna see a score of 5-3 afterwards, which is not enough for either player to win the match, and we could see a 5-5 tie. Either player wins one of the next maps now. So one player could take Hokkaido, the other one our final random map, and then we would go 5-5. If the same player wins both, it will be a victory. A tie and a victory would also be enough. So yeah, definitely everything still open for these last two maps.
I think a 5-5 would be really exciting, not only for these two players, but the entire top 8/top 12. Because, well, as a 2.5 point player, no, not really, but because I've tied recently, and also because Yanni tied recently, we definitely look very, very deeply into this because I think there's a bit of a mismatch in these standings. If you are a 1 point player, 2 point player, there are so many opponents you can be choosing from. And of course, it depends on your BH and all the tiebreakers that, you know, very, very different paths you can take. But if you are on a half point, you will probably end up playing all the other players on the same point because there are just simply not enough opponents to choose from. And of course, one of the players will probably play someone half a point stronger, but everyone else is just gonna play amongst themselves. So I don't necessarily know if it's good or bad, but it's an entirely different tournament if you are a half point player. But you
Absolutely.
were also a half-point player, so
I am
you could
currently
also talk
still a
about it.
half a point player as well. Yeah, I've managed to climb to 1.5 points now. Um, but yeah, both these players currently on 2 points. Won both their first rounds and have the option to go to either 3 or 2.5 points now, as you said. And got a couple people on 2.5 points already. I feel like we have more half pointers compared to previous tournaments, but that might just be recency bias, and also, of course, the second ever Swiss tournament we actually have. And see a raid from Freud coming in. Welcome, everyone. We are on the 4th of 5 maps from the SpottheCat versus Jokerj Swiss round 3 match after a very, very close first 3 maps. Of course, we are at a score of 3-3 after a draw in New York, and we will be traveling to Hokkaido, where hopefully either player can gain the lead. But let's see who it is. It's going to be first competitive Hokkaido for SpottheCat. For Joker, like the 16th, I think, so he might have the edge here. Let's see if he can execute the spin faster. It's going to be Eric Soder's silenced sniper rifle as the VIP patient Amos Dexter, and Yuki Yamazaki injected poison as the baseball player. That's a spin for sure.
In 2025, not many spins scream sauna, but the more you think about it, and the forced sniper, the usually forced item for Dexter, the forced item for Yuki's injected poison, the detour for the baseball player, the mandatory key hacker, I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, players will be trying to get the aquarium timing of 3 minutes and 15 seconds, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's not possible either.
Yeah, it's gonna be really tight, I want to say, because you're gonna get all the way. Joker has insanely long load here. Yeah, I think Joker might have to actually. Yeah, Jokerj is offline.
If he's not back in 15, that's gonna be a respin. Because it did happen in the first minute, and
exactly.
it is excessive enough to
Oh,
not happen.
he's back, but was a game relaunch, so it definitely was a crash, and that is going to constitute a respin. A bit of a shame. That was an interesting spin, I want to say. We did talk about it for a couple of seconds. Joker's console thought it was a little bit too interesting. So yeah, to quickly summarize what's happened there and what's going to happen now. Jokerj, I think, initially started with an endless load. I think that's a bug that can happen where your loads just get infinitely long. And I'm not sure if his game crashed or if he then restarted his game on purpose to get rid of that, obviously. But either way, it does count as a crash for us. And because it happened within the first minute of the spin, we will respin and start from an even playing field. Let's hope that Spot is going to be aware of this.
Yeah, important thing to say here. I wanted to as well that Spot is not aware of the respin, so don't know, gonna give it 15 more seconds, and now that he's ripping and maybe noticing stuff, but no, he's going to restart. So I'm just gonna send a message to the competitor. You got mail. Oh. No, he's definitely in the spin mood still, sadly.
Yeah. It is a quick replan. It is he has not gotten the info yet, sadly. We are trying our best. Now I think it's probably arrived. That is a suspicious pause. But yeah, I just wanted to. I just said it a second before the spin arrived. This is going to be SpottheCat's first competitive Hokkaido play. 0-0-0, no personal best so far. Jokerj is 16th Hokkaido though, 11-5-0. Strong showing from him. He definitely has the upper hand on this. And we shall see who wins this. Of course, still all open. I want to quickly mention that it is limited to 1 respin per player per match or map. I'm actually not exactly sure anymore.
Per match.
Per match, thank you. So even if Joker crashes again now on the second spin, which of course we don't hope, and I don't think we'll see that, it's not going to be another respin, but we will count his crash time. Let's see, it is going to be another Hokkaido spin, throwing the heart into the trash can as the VIP patient, Jason Portman, the other one this time, and Yuki Yamazaki, Silence SMG, as a doctor.
I think it's not as extreme as the previous one, but I'm still happy to see this one because of the disguises. Sportsman itself is a challenge unless you get it very early. But if you go Portman's side, the doctor will be much more difficult to grab later in the spin. And of course, there's the Portman lure if you are 47 or a patient, which also works. And back to mandatory items, the Silence SMG is needed. You probably want an emetic for Yuki and the blue egg for the heart in the trash can. So spin's not getting much easier.
Definitely not. Jokerj is showcasing the early Portman isolation that I already forgot about, actually. But of course, this is a nice way of getting him quickly.
Bit more troubles than usual for this, but if the play is to just Seeker Yuki right here, right now, then it just doesn't really matter, luckily, when you do it. But Joker is not going this way. He's going for soldier skill first, and then grab a doctor from, I think it's going to be the hospital from behind Surgeon Start, and it may just be aquarium after all.
Possibly. I want to say with this, it's much more likely that you could make sauna timing. You don't the huge detour for the baseball player is not needed anymore. It's still a little bit of a detour to get the doctor, but that's much less one. So
Spot with the fire axe to keep this door open. That's really smart.
Indeed.
And he can definitely make the emetic timing. SMG in hand and Seeker in briefcase, or the other way around, as long as one item and one kill item and one emetic. Not sure about bumping the patient there, but maybe it works well from this angle. Ooh, I haven't really tried this. Two NPCs are caught, and Joker, that was either caught trespassing or the gun was out, because he was ripping with the loud pistol in hand, but Joker is failing the patient kill, not the patient grab, the kill with the heart.
Indeed, Spot got this Yuki kill done nicely now. Let's hope that other guard doesn't reroute, because this kill was very quick. I didn't see him look back for a long time. Let's just hope that that's fine, but hopefully should be. The other guard, I think, went to 47th suite, I want to say, as the nearest bathroom that's unoccupied.
Yeah, but that's also a bit tougher because it just takes a bit longer to get there, and I'm not sure about the rerouting thing from that way, but if you just count to 10 quietly, then I think Spot survive this and continues Hokkaido with a huge 2-minute lead.
Absolutely. Interestingly enough, I couldn't see the guard on instinct, but by now it should, even with rerouting, by now he should have arrived at a puke spot. So hopefully he should be fine by now.
Yeah, sadly, it's a good start for Spot, but a bit of a struggle to grab Portman. He is either thinking about the actual lure, like you bring Portman with you to the bathroom, but he's not biting either.
Ooh, he has a blue egg in his inventory. This could result in a risky attempt of just blue egging him right here and stealing his disguise. But that
would work.
Yeah, I mean it could. I'm not 100% on that, but if you say so, I'm believing you.
It can work unless you change very close to the window, but Spot's going the safe route.
Yeah, I think now finally he will move. Hopefully that's gonna be a portman disguise acquired for Spot soon. He has the 1 kill lead, but maybe not for much longer. As Joker.
Yeah, that's really slow by Spot, sorry.
Yeah, Joker is rapidly approaching again. Throwing the heart into the trash can now. So that is the 1 kill equalize pretty much. Just needs the Doctor Disguise and the Yuki Isolation, of course.
Ooh, this is really tough. I've never seen Portman be this hard to deal with. Of course, it didn't react to the early distractions, but and I understand that Spot doesn't want to use the blue egg since that's for the soldier's kill to make it much quicker. What is this way that he's going? Now he's, I think, biting, but that took so long. I think I want to say Joker is in the lead with this.
Quite possibly, if Joker's Doctor Grab works out better than, and it does, than Spot's Portman Grab. Actually looks like it's gonna be a sauna timing for Joker, I want to say. I don't think I'm not 100% on the timings, but I don't think you can do anything else. Things Aquarium is probably done by now, or like right about now, but obviously not there quite yet.
I think the regular start aquarium would be 3:05, 3:10, but important to remember that Joker started default, so that's half a minute off all these timings, which means that he's not only very late for aquarium, he's fairly on time for sauna. It works out for him with a good in-game time.
Indeed. He even goes to manipulate the thermostat in the sauna to get these people to leave. Might just make it a little bit easier for the isolation in here.
I think it's a trap these days because I don't think you're gaining much with an empty sauna, but if you trigger the sauna at the wrong time, then these NPCs will be going out. Could make it difficult for Joker, but of course now it's all empty. Didn't wait too long to turn it on. Oh, one more stutter. Now he's leaving, and as long as you don't lock down Yuki, I think you will make it to the exit.
And both players, though, on their way to the exit now. Joker just got the kill. Spot is getting the Soda's kill as well. It's going to be a race to the exit. Looks like Joker will be the first one out. There it is. 7 minutes 41. Spot might make this within photo finish timing, or is actually likely, I want to say, but that is a big difference. There it was like 15 seconds, I want to say. So technically still a photo finish, but Joker definitely had more loads than Spot, so I don't think this is something that can be caught up. And
15.6. And although I will mute and go for a bit, I expect a wave. So
yeah.
In any case, see you sooner than the New Year photo finish.
Yeah, let's hope that lovely admin In4Fun doesn't have to count out this photo finish here, as that was a ton of loads for Joker, but luckily, even if could just count a single load off Spot for to see that is not the Spot can't catch up pretty much. And there is the confirmation, SpottheCat waving his photo finish rights. So the map a win will be given to Jokerj.
I mean, it was quicker than I could find the twitch.tv/currymaker/videos page. So it's probably for the best that I don't get to start second photo finish today.
That is true. You still got one more chance, but let's hope that it doesn't come to that. We are going to Marrakesh with a score of 3-5 for Jokerj, who's who's currently leading. And I said it before, SpottheCat victory on Marrakesh would make this match a tie with a 5-5 score. Anything else, either a draw, photo finish, or timeout, or a Jokerj victory would mean that Jokerj is winning this match all together. So he is definitely in the leading position. And looking at the stats, he's likely also very comfortable on Marrakesh, I want to say.
Yeah, this is one of the best maps to Joker. Win rate wise as well, because I didn't use the filters correctly, but 7 wins and 1 loss. And as it is customary, I have to check which was the 1 loss. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in a row. Then he lost to Scruffy in the all-important RR15 round 4 match, the 2-day affair. But other than that, from Linux to Ashton to yourself, I like Goulet, Chromex, and I like again.
True.
So it's a wide range of experienced players he has beaten in Marrakesh.
I remember I played, that was RRWC group stage, I want to say, where I played Jokerj on Marrakesh.
No, it's RR12.
Oh, it's RR12. Okay, then I'm completely off. But that works as well. So yeah, the 7-1 certainly strong. Was enough for me, so we shall see. Jokerj can pull this off now, but we've seen on these past few maps, Jokerj definitely not unbeatable by any means. Of course, all depends on the map, but Spot has some chances here to equal it out. Personal best-wise, they are quite close. 5 minutes 41 for Spot versus Jokerj's 5 minute 4. Of course, map record being currently 4 minutes. Still a bit off, but that's perfectly fine. Go ahead.
I think it's definitely impressive on Spot's end, because he's, of course, made it from only 4 spins. He's made it from only 1 win, but especially because his 1 win, his PB, came in 2023 against Sphere Gamer in the group stage. So it's almost 2 years ago. And if I remember 2 years ago, there were not many sub-6 RTAs. So whatever that was, Spot was definitely good at Marrakesh. Of course, he's taken a long break. I think he's known to take many breaks, long breaks, but always nice to see him back. Of course, this is the first tournament since R13 that he enters and casts and all that. But I think Joker is the favorite. On the other hand, I can definitely see Spot perform here as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jokerj being the favorite, I think that is like definitely looking at the stats, looking at the experience, certainly true. But Spot is certainly not out just yet. Maybe he can pull it back with this Marrakesh spin. What have we got?
Well, people didn't really want Consular Emetic, or maybe didn't want any other straightforward. Well, they will not get this one because it's Razor Zeta and Consume Poison, Consular Janitor, and Klaus Hugo Strandberg, Explosion Extent as local printing crew for a win.
That is Razor Consumed Poison. Is an interesting one.
Razor itself is a very versatile consumed kill with the 3 minute-ish, I want to say 3.5 minute school kill for the battle, which Spot is going for. It's the quicker and the riskier, but also very nice to see this extra risk here. While Joker will be going for the other approach if I see him start default. No, he has replanned for school as well, but Spot now, oh, this is going to be really tight. But I'm going to finish my sentence that the other Consume Poison kill would be the plate. You start default for that, you drop something for the waiter, and you get the 4.5 minute kill, which is slower, but I think much more consistent for this spin.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind for me as well, but only then I realized while these players were starting, there is this bottle as well, which both players are going for. They just, of course, need to be on time in the correct disguise, but Consular Janitor, not really a difficult disguise to obtain in any scenario. And probably Spot is not attempting to get or at least set up the close kill in the meantime. Maybe he will set it up actually.
He is setting it up, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that the close kill is remote I think changes everything, because I think on the face of it, you probably only want to do battle if you can bring the disguise to Klaus and kill him and quickly change to janitor. But with explosion accident being so easy to set up, Spot, I think, changes his mind and goes through the garage, but loses his lead because of that. Oh, so close here.
That is rough. I mean, both players are in some way limited by the consumed poison timing. But that isn't too big of a difference because there's still a couple of other things you have to do during this run.
I guess that's fair.
Doesn't have a propane yet. Jokerj picked one up in the basement room. But Spot didn't.
It's weird because Spot went through multiple of these propanes. It's unfortunate that like it would have been so easy to pick up propane and just set up set up Klaus this way like Joker does, who, as you said it correctly, I think was still behind because both players would need to do the same isolation, and Spot maybe now realizing he has the breaching charge, but I'm not seeing the propane. Oh, this is going to be tough because now Joker is definitely taking the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kill should tick for Spot relatively soon, but the fact that he has to go all the way down to grab a propane, come all the way back up, set it up, and then only can go for the local printing crew versus Joker, who's now just going to set this up and leave the consulate for this spin. There's the kill for Spot. But yeah, Jokerj definitely in the lead now.
And if it was the other way around, then... sorry, completely lost my track of thought there, but no one has to stay in this disguise, especially Spot who has the kill now, but Joker could also wait as the janitor and go for the local printing queue. He also gets the 305 kill and is now definitely ahead.
Absolutely. First one to exit the consulate again. Closely followed, like I want to say it's 20 seconds or something at most between these players. And the local printing crew, disguise grab, not the easiest, I want to say. There are situations where it can cause trouble. So it's not over by far for these players. But Jokerj definitely in a good spot, and I guess with his experience, does know how to do this properly.
Not the angle I would have used, and misses the first Chang. Misses the second Chang. Joker, that's going to be huge for him, but he still has the coins. And he, with 2 coins, could save this one. I don't know if there's a 1 coin situation. Spot, Chang, and succeeds. And I think snatches this win from Joker if he stays green by standing up. That one detonation away. And I think Spot just, oh my god, at the very last obstacle could take this map.
Very, very possible. Let's hope that that is a correct accident explosion. And we can see it there. 5 minutes 18. And yeah, at the last hurdle, Jokerj seems to have failed. And still potential for a photo finish, but it is ticking down, and at least by now, plus 15, that's not something Jokerj is going to be able to catch up in any scenario. It didn't have, I want to say at most 2 loads. I can't exactly remember. Only grabs the disguise now, but photo finish window already tick down, and SpottheCat is gonna take the final map, Marrakesh, and tie out this match for 5-5.
Wow, what a result, and especially how it worked out at the very end. I don't want to be harsh on the players, but I think Spot lost this map so that Joker could take the lead and lose it himself. Still a very nicely done match by both of them, but this final map had opportunities on both sides to take this map, and ultimately Spot did. And although he didn't win the match, it is a very valuable half point there in his campaign to make the knockout stage.
Absolutely. He did recover nicely from being down 3-5, making it back to a 5-5. We can see that on the current standings. A real quick. Jokerj and SpottheCat were tied in points at the start of this round, obviously, both being on 2 points. They will remain tied at now 2.5 points in 5th and 7th position, respectively. No ties there. The tiebreakers, at least the first two differential and Buchholz score already in effect, which currently puts them in this position. But with 2 rounds to go and a score of 2.5, they are looking both pretty good to advance. But of course, it does come down to these last 2 rounds. No, wait, last 3 rounds. I'm mistaken. Why do I keep saying 2? The round numbers.
It's okay.
Really.
3 down and 3 to go.
Exactly. I think we also still have 3 matches to go. Exactly, and we do indeed. Next one is going to be Grauri versus Channel Joint in almost exactly 4 hours, playing Wild Woodland Creek, casted by my lovely co-caster In4Fun, joined by Yanini. We have another match tonight, Skylar versus Pack at 22 o'clock Central European Time, which is in 5 hours, an hour after the Grauri Channel Joint match, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should line up. And then we do have a single match tomorrow. Afro versus Crazy for Daisy had to be rescheduled due to some tech issues, but everything should be set tomorrow for 21 o'clock Central European Time on Isle of Scale and Sapienza. Caster so far is going to be SpottheCat. And yeah, what an exciting match. Any closing thoughts on it?
Exciting match, exciting result. Both of these players are definitely well on their way to make the knockout stage, which is not a surprise for 4th place finisher Jokerj, and a really pleasant surprise for returning SpottheCat. He's definitely getting to become the dark horse of this tournament. Really excited to see them both. I think not Joker in round 4 because he misses that, but can still wrap it up in the last 2 rounds. But yeah, Spot will be in one of the high-profile matches in the future rounds, and will be exciting to see him in the future, as is Jokerj.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. So yeah, I guess at this point, all we have left to say is to thank you all very, very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the cast. Thanks to both players for playing. Congratulations to both of them for tying this match. I haven't worked this out really in my in my outro here, but definitely best of luck to both of them for the remainder of the Swiss stage. Thanks to In4Fun for adminning and co-casting this match for me.
Thanks for having me.
Always welcome. Thanks all of you for watching. I hope to see you soon in another Real Rivals match. Thank you and goodbye.